All right. 3 exam questions here, 3 groups. There's this thing called contesting. With everything that you ever come in contact with, somebody's going to try to turn it into a sport one way or another. So be sure and exercise your PTT thumb for contesting. Contacting as many stations. So what they do is most of the contests tend to go the whole weekend. So they'll start it at like 000 UTC on Saturday and end it at 000 UTC on Sunday is the way it will usually go. So in that 24-hour period, you have you're going to contact as many stations as possible, but that's not the only thing you have to do. Contact as many stations as possible and accurately record their information, because you have to submit a log. And when you submit the log, anything that's wrong, not only do you not get the points for that, but there's usually a penalty for a not accurate contact submitted, So in a fixed amount of time, minimum amount of information exchanged, they know that you want to get your contact in and move on. So most contests will have prescribed points of information that you have to collect and put into your log. So minimum number of information to exchange. A lot of times it's location or grid square, and then the call sign, date and time. And like I say, they're all different. They all have their own requirements of what they want. They look for location or grid square. And the other thing they might look for, if anybody remembers seeing the map of the world that I've got on there before I start all the computer programs, that's broke down by regions. And some of them use those regions to calculate points, because that tells them where you are in reference to where they are, and you get better points for longer contacts. The way my antenna is set up, they need to give me better points for making transequatorial contacts, because those are rare. Radio direction finding is another type of contest where someone has hidden a radio transmitter, a weak radio transmitter someplace, and then you have to locate it. And you locate it using there's more than one way to locate it, but the inexpensive way is to use your Baofeng and try to find out which direction the signal's coming from the strongest. Find the hidden transmitter and you win. And sometimes it's just you only win the admiration of your fellow hams, and other times there might be a prize for it. You find noise or jamming source sometimes. And this whole thing, okay, it seems like a game, the radio direction finding. So you're looking for a radio that's transmitting every few seconds on a specific frequency. But when real world practice comes down to it, and you've got somebody that's interfering and you're trying to find it, you use the same principles to locate the offending source. US grid square map right there. Of course, we are right down there in the bottom right-hand corner. And this will be on your QRZ profile too when you get licensed. If you go on QRZ, it'll be part of your profile there. What operating activity involves contacting as many stations as possible during a specified time period? Delta, contesting. Which of the following is a good procedure when contacting another station in a contest? Send only the minimum information necessary for proper identification and contest exchange. That is correct. yeah, you don't want to, start chewing the fat with somebody during a contest if they're in the contest. Now, if you find somebody that's not, you can. But yeah, just the minimum information necessary. What is a grid locator? Grid locator. What's that? Alpha. A letter number designator assigned to a geographic location. That is correct. And that was right there. It is the U.S. grid square map. Which of the following methods is used to locate sources of noise or interference or jamming? I'm sorry, noise interference or jamming. Charlie, radio direction finding, also used for fox hunts. Which of these items would be useful for a hidden transmitter hunt? Bravo, a directional antenna. And even with the directional antenna, sometimes when you get it particularly close, your directional feature of your antenna starts to disappear and you start to get the signal all the way around. Turn your frequency off by a kilohertz or 2 kilohertz, and that should put you back in line to get it. There's also other things you can do, but that's, when you're right on the spot. So voice over internet protocol, technique for sending digital voice transmissions over the internet. Internet Radio Linking Project, IRLP, is a UHF or VHF, UHF amateur radio systems and repeaters connected together using VoIP. So I haven't really done much with this or with Echolink, either one. I'm signed up on Echolink, but I've never used it. But the IRLP, I don't know if that uses, is it just, they have to be connected, right? Okay. And then on the internet, can you get to any internet connected? Okay. All right. Okay, so Echolink next is a VHF, UHF amateur radio system and repeaters connected together using VoIP, computer or cell phone interface. So the big thing on this one is that if it'll log me in, it's available right there on your phone. When you sign up for Echolink, you have to have a license, okay, even though it goes over your phone. But I've never used it, like I say, but it's available there. And I've done the testing to make sure that it's all working, but I have never contacted anybody through it. Right. Well, that I don't, somewhere along the line, it has to hit a repeater, I would guess. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yes. Last line down there, register your call sign and provide proof of license. So I think that's one of the ones that made me, there was a couple things that I did when I first got my license where I had to save a copy in a whatever format it was to my phone or computer or iPad or something, and then had to include it as an attachment when I send in my application, and then they have to verify it. There's a few things like that. So here in this drawing, you see you've got your local IRLP user there on the top. Simplex IRLP node, she's talking to the node, which then goes on the internet or on a computer, and then the computer accesses the internet, and the internet sends it to another computer and another remote node, and then to a repeater link, and then your fellow over there has radio connected to the repeater. So this, I'm not sure. Oh, this is a Echolink. That must be on a computer, though. Okay, what is Internet Radio Linking Project, IRLP? Alpha, a technique to connect amateur radio systems such as repeaters via the internet using Voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP. I'm old enough that I can say that I remember when VoIP first became a thing and the sound quality was horrible. But it's much better nowadays. What is the Voice over Internet Protocol? A method of delivering voice communications over the internet using digital techniques. What is required before using the Echolink system? Register your call sign so you complete the required Echo. Oh, I didn't know anything about Echolink training. Purchase a license. Okay, it looks like C is the right answer. You are correct. Register your call sign and provide proof of license. Yeah, I had to do a, I don't remember if it was PDF or JPEG or what attachment so they could see the license with the call sign on it and the expiration date and everything. Which of the following protocols enables an amateur station to transmit through a repeater without using a radio to initiate the transmission? Delta, Echolink. Let's see. Nodes are stations connected to IRLP or Echolink. They're accessed by node number using DTMF signals. Dual tone. DTMF, you know what DTMF is, dual tone multi-frequency audio signals, unique tone pairs for each number. Gateway is an amateur station that connects other stations to the internet. Let's see. Oh, okay. Everybody see how that's set up? Yeah. Yeah, next we're going to talk about the rotary dial. How is over-the-air access to IRLP nodes accomplished? Bravo, by using DTMF signals. What type of signaling uses pairs of audio tones? Alpha, DTMF. What is an amateur radio station that connects other amateur stations to the internet? Alpha, a gateway. Very good. Takeaways, activities, let's see, contacting as many stations as possible during a specific time period. Send only the minimum amount of information necessary for proper identification and the contest exchange. That's all you want. The serious contesters are going to get bent if you try to include your birth date or anything. Grid locators, letter number ID used to identify geographic locations. Radio direction finding is used to locate sources of noise, interference, or jamming. Use of a directional antenna is helpful, and there are several types of directional antennas. Voice over IP, VoIP, is a method of delivering voice communications over the internet using digital techniques. Internet Linking Protocol, IRLP, is a technique to connect amateur radio systems such as repeaters via the internet using Voice over Internet Protocol. Echolink just eliminates the radio on, could eliminate the radio on both ends. You can just do it from your cell phone, but it enables amateur stations to transmit through a repeater without using a radio to initiate the transmission. You must be registered with Echolink in order and show proof of your license to be able to use it. Nodes, IRLP access uses DTMF signals. Dual tone multi-frequency are pairs of audio tones, and you see how they were in the cross fashion there on the diagram. And the gateway is an amateur radio station that connects other amateur radio stations to the internet. Any questions? All right.